All right, all right. What's
Uh,
all right? Here we are. What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your guy G, the number one Cowboy fan. Have to coming at you live, direct, and correct with some Mo news. That's right, I said Mo news, Mo news that you can use. And here I am on this Saturday morning, joined by no other than the football junkie. Let's give it up for the football junkie. Yeah, all right, man. Here we are, man. We got some things to talk about this morning, football junkie. And how you feeling? How you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling great and fabulous.
All right, that's what's up, man. Well, glad you to come hang out with me today, man, because there's some things going on, and I'm sure it's out there. It's out there in the atmosphere, and I know there's something that we might need to elaborate on. So, but before we before we get started, I'd like to give a big shout out and give thanks to all those subscribers that follow us and all those that follow us. Like I always say, without you guys, this is totally impossible. So let's give it up for all the subscribers and followers. Yeah. So let's get right on into this, man. I don't want to hold you up too long, but man, again, like I say, man, I appreciate you coming in, sitting in with me, man. We family. We family.
Oh
So this
yeah,
is what we do. We die hards, right?
oh yeah. We die hard,
Yeah, we
man.
are diehards, man. So, yeah, man. So there's a lot that's been going on, but starting off with this, man, and maybe you can explain this, man. So, this has been reported. Former Dallas Cowboys safety Darren Woodson entered Thursday, having been named a Pro Football Hall of Fame finalist for the class of 2024. His second straight year of achieving that honor, but he's not entering the hall just yet. Wait a minute. Yeah. Woodson spent his entire 12 year career with the Cowboys from 92 to 2003, and during that time he was selected to 5 Pro Bowls, 4 All-Pro teams, and won 3 Super Bowls. Woodson, who by the end of his career became the franchise all-time leading tackler, was inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor in November 2015. The class of 2024 featured 15 finalists before it was narrowed down to the elite group. Woodson didn't make it. But let's give it up for all his accolades, though. So, football junkie, I really don't get how they go about picking individuals that makes the Hall of Fame. We just saw this man's resume. This man's resume is a standout. It's immaculate. It's
Right.
nothing else you can ask for a player to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. This is his second time trying, and again he's been denied. What you think is going on? What is the deal with that, brother?
Man, I really can't even sum it up. Be honest with you. When you look at Wilson's body of work as a Dallas Cowboy and as a
Hmm.
safety, and I like to just kind of just touch on the surface of him being one of the first of few pioneered players that played linebacker in college. They end up being a safety.
Bring your
Uh,
camera over just a little bit more, bro. There you go. All right.
he he was a linebacker at the University of Arizona when he was drafted, and he
Hmm.
was moved to safety. And this guy was lights out, week in and week out. Uh, he was one of those guys that distribute punishment and cover well,
Woo!
excellent. He was the embodiment of a running lot. He might not been as a bone crusher as a hitter as running lot, but he sure did get the attention of opposing offenses about coming across the middle.
Ooh,
You
good.
did know about Rod. Yeah, and Rod, Rod Woodson that played for the Steelers and Darren Woodson, the similar players,
Yeah.
and they did the same type of things. And you talking about a guy that stayed healthy consistently.
Oh my
We never
God.
we never knew of him ever being out the game with an injury. Never. I mean, this dude played extensive career without getting any major injuries. So I mean,
12 years.
12 years. I can't recall that guy missing a game.
I can't either. And if he did, it was very minute. It was a very short-lived injury. Because I
Right.
cannot remember. You're right about that, brother. Go ahead.
But being that he's not going into the Hall of Fame, uh, I really don't know what to say. I really don't.
Yeah, and it's just like, man. I mean, like I say, the accolades, and the resume, it speaks for itself, and it just, I'm not, I haven't read to see who all made the final list that's
Right.
going to be inducted, but again, it's mind boggling that this guy is a standout guy, a prime example of what hard works looks like, of
Hmm.
what dedication and commitment looks like, and he's been denied. But again, maybe it's the Cowboys. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Drew Pearson was one, took forever.
Yeah,
So
he did. He
and
did.
and it's just it's sad that certain individuals, and I know we are fans, but even if you're not a fan of Darren Woodson or Drew Pearson, numbers don't lie. Numbers does not lie. The Super Bowls does not lie.
No, they don't.
So, with that being said, I don't know how they determine who ends up in the final decisions, or who is actually selected. I don't know, and I might need to do some research on that, man. So, yeah, man, it is heartbreaking, breaking, and I just pray and hope that he's around when he does get inducted. A lot of these individuals, they don't live long enough, to make it in. You got somebody representing them. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate, man. So yeah, so we hopefully it'll happen. You know,
I have a question.
yes, sir.
Can anyone name a safety, a strong safety at that, that really has played the game at a higher level than him in the last 30 years,
We'll
and
wait.
and has that many Super Bowls?
Yeah, 3. It's so again, see, that's mind-boggling. How does he not? How does he
Last line
not?
of defense. You the last line of defense now.
You're the last line of defense. And if he's coming downhill, you better stop, drop, and roll because it's the boom is coming, right?
It's coming.
I don't know,
I'm,
brother. I don't know, but it's just that's something that is just it yet has to be answered, man. It's just one of those things. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed for Darren Woodson, man, that he makes it on this next poll and in the near future. But with that being said, man, we got to move on to this next topic. So as we all know, it's been reported by Blogging the Boys that Dallas Cowboys finally made their move in securing a new defensive coordinator after Dan Quinn left for a position as the head coach for the Washington Commanders. It has been reported that they will hire, and has been hired, Mike Zimmer.
mhm.
It says that he was the head coach of Minnesota, where he had some success but could never get
Yep.
to the big game.
Yep.
Zimmer also had a lot of success as the defensive coordinator in NFL, but he is coming off a 2-year exile from the leagues after losing the Vikings job. Say, can he still get it done? And how will his scheme of tendency fit the Cowboys' current personnel on that side of the ball? So, what do you think about this hire that the Cowboys has made with Mike Zimmer?
I really have to just, in the words of Deion Sanders, bull jump,
Bull jive,
bull jump.
bull junk.
In the words of Deion Sanders,
Yeah,
it's bull jump because as many as young and up and coming coordinators there is in the NFL, not only in the NFL in the college ranks itself, why? Why are we reflecting ourselves as the good old boys instead of the Cowboys? I mean, Mike Zimmerman, like you said, he had his tenure with the Minnesota Vikings. And then his last stop was defensive coordinator with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Bengals, they posted some good statistics and they had some good defenses and whatnot. But I do not see them having the complete talent the Cowboys have right now as a whole. Uh,
Right.
I don't see why Jerry Jones insists on continuing to play Stone Age coaching. I don't understand
With
it.
the older coaches, right?
Yeah, he keep
Hey, we got to remember Rex Ryan was one of the candidates.
right. Ron
Rex
Rivera.
Ryan, Riverboat Ron Rivera. I mean, that was the rap that they were headed, man. I mean,
I, I, I don't know, man. I just don't understand it. I mean, I would have been more acceptable of somebody like Lovie Smith, not because he's African American, but we know what Lovie Smith can do. He still got some fire in him. But
okay.
Mike Zimmerman and I mean, we're going to the booth. We're going to the press box getting folks.
Yeah. I guess only reason I can say, and we're true enough, he's 2-3 in the playoff scenes. He's under 500. He's a 400% in the playoffs, and that's not the best. I really don't know if he will be an individual that's going to do any better than Dan Quinn.
Right?
Maybe we don't know. We don't know what it's going to look like. But what I can say about Mike Zimmer is one that will hold his players accountable.
Yeah,
He is
he
a
will do
hard
that.
nose. We heard from Darren Woodson. He said this guy is very hard to play for. I posted a video earlier, a short. I put a short up about what Darren Woodson had to say about Mike Zimmer. And basically, he said, he has no friends. He is
Okay.
one of those Jimmy Johnson type coaches that he will, you know, put a foot into you and he will hold you accountable to do your job. So, and when we look at Dan Quinn was the nice guy. Mike McCarthy is the nice guy.
Hmm.
And then with what DeMarcus Lawrence said about, at that time would come playoff, they were burned out. Maybe, we might need Mike Zimmer just for to light the fire up under the players. You know what I mean? And with that being said, I think because Mike McCarthy is on this 1 year contract,
Hmm.
and it's one of
The
them
contract.
show me years to where I think what they didn't want to Cowboys didn't want to do is go get a you got to remember this too. A lot of these coaches that want to come in, they're looking for, 4 to 5 year contracts. They're looking for at least
Right.
3 year contract. So you
Right.
have to go get somebody that's probably retired or probably in the midst of retiring to come in for one season. And that's probably where I'm looking at it because we don't know what this season's going to look like since we're running it back with the same head coach on a 1 year contract. So that's the only reason I can pretty much say that's why they went this route. Will it be good for the Cowboys? Disciplinary wise, I think it will. But as far as record wise, that has yet to be seen. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's yet to be seen. And I like what you said, being that it be 1 year and the 3 year minimum or whatever. However, Jerry, man, Jerry blow smoke in all of us, man, and he'll make it seem like it's one thing and it's really another. Jerry might be on one of his little old parade shows. Mike Zimmer for the next candidate.
Yeah, but well, and again, okay, let's compare Mike Zimmer team. Let's just take his Minnesota team. Do you think his Minnesota team was just as good as the team that he's with as his Cowboy team today, or do you think he has more weapons with the Cowboys? Did the Vikings? He had more weapons with the with the Vikings.
Oh shoot, man. It's almost about the same.
About the same. Okay. Okay. As far as player wise, as far as
Player
the
wise,
the level of
player wise,
players, yeah.
level of players.
Okay. So
Defensively, Cowboys is better.
okay, 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 yeah. And so maybe that'll help him out. He was the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe his defensive coordinator and maybe his offensive coordinator wasn't that good. I don't know. But we know this, that he has a chance to redeem himself. He has a chance to prove himself or see what he can bring to the table when it comes to this run stop game. You know what I mean?
Man,
So you sounded like you're really pretty much, you're disappointed, basically, right?
I am, man. Cowboys should have went. I mean, it's time for a youth movement.
Yeah,
It's time for a youth movement.
yeah.
In the way it's a very good possibility the Cowboys gonna lose majority of the defensive coordinators on the defensive side of the ball going to
Hmm.
uh with Dan Quinn to Washington. It's
It's possible.
it's very possible.
Yeah,
It's very possible.
we
So
might lose.
if you gonna lose most of your coordinators like that to your former defensive coordinator being a head coach transitioning to Washington, I mean, what is it gonna hurt?
Yeah, yeah. And it's possible. They Jerry Jones had to put a block on our tight end coach because Dan Quinn was trying to interview him as well, but Jerry Jones had to step in and say, "Oh no, not so fast." So
What more could you expect? Go with
yeah,
some people they
and,
familiar
and-
with.
yeah. And where else would you recruit from than the team that you coach with? The coaches that you coach with. So yeah, of course he's going to come ask those guys.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. But it's something to see, man. But now there is somebody that's happy that Mike Zimmer is there. So there is a video, and I'm gonna show that video here in a minute. But there's one individual that is glad to see that Mike Zimmer is in the Cowboys organization in the locker room. So Emmitt Smith, he sounded off. He speaks on the Cowboys, and it has been reported that Emmitt Smith said he welcomes the addition of Mike Zimmer, who the Cowboys hired as the team's new defensive coordinator. Zimmer was head coach. Okay, we know that. But he said, Emmitt Smith said, I cannot wait to give him a big hug because
Hmm.
I think we need some of that old school tradition brought back into the mix. The relationship between Zimmer and the Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy also will be key, according to Smith, because Zimmer could call McCarthy out on his explicit. So, so that could happen. So again, Mike Zimmer is one of those. He has that Jimmy Johnson type type of coaching style, and I think that's what Emmitt Smith is more excited about because I do think that our organization or our team was more they wasn't disciplined. I could say there's some times that they wasn't disciplined, overrunning plays, missing plays, and things like that. But maybe this Mike Zimmer coming in could probably be a help to making these players more committed, more disciplined, and doing their job. So, you know, but this is Emmitt Smith. What do you think?
Uh, yeah, it's Emmitt Smith. However, when I think about the defense that he had over there with Cincinnati Bengals, uh, he had to deal with I'm trying to think of this guy name was a linebacker.
Oh yeah,
He
start with a
was
B.
boy,
Burfett.
some something like that to that nature.
Yeah,
He was the most undisciplined football player I've ever seen, especially at this level of play of professional football. You so undisciplined, it didn't make no sense. He didn't have no control over that guy. He didn't. Perfect. That's his name.
yeah, that's it.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
He did not have no control over that guy. That dude was a loose cannon out there in the football. He had all the tangibles, but for his mental, nah, nobody can control that dude except for the commissioner.
But you know who he remind me of? When we go back to our Cowboys, Charles Haley. You know you got
Oh,
to have one player on the team that got loose screws. You got
okay,
we've been talking about having some dogs on the team. Somebody
okay,
has to be that dog, because Charles Haley was one of those guys that had some loose screws,
okay.
but he was a beast on the field. So I think that's why Mike Zimmer might have liked him. I don't know, but Charles Haley was hell.
And then remember, Pac-Man Jones played for Zimmer.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Terrence
true. He
Williams,
did.
Terrence Newsom played for Zimmer.
That's
Uh,
right. Yeah, you right.
yeah, these
Yeah,
guys are ex-Cowboys that I actually played with Zimmerman over there and his sister. Um, Zimmerman he likes big defensive linemen. He likes them big. Cause remember when he had those the two Jacksons over there at Minnesota in the
yeah.
trenches at
Right.
nose tackle. So he likes them big. He loves
Yeah,
big in the trenches guys.
yeah.
So uh it's all about Jerry Jones them adhering to what he's asking for and for when it comes to the trenches. So it's very possible that we see the Cowboys going after the youngster over there at University of Texas right there to help
Yeah,
show that
Sweat.
situation up for us. Yeah, Montez Sweat. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very possible we could see that happen in the first
Wait a
round for
minute,
us.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, football junkie. How you gonna go out to go get this guy? We just got a first round draft pick defensive tackle just last year. What are we saying? Or how are we gonna overlook Mozzie Smith?
Hot garbage. Who don't overlook hot garbage?
Oh my gosh, what a disappointment.
I
Appointment.
mean,
Oh my,
everybody's a project. Everybody's a
yeah,
project
that's
coming in.
true.
I mean, from high school to the pros, you
Yeah, that's true.
projected to be here, you projected to be there, but once you get on that field and you start seeing the actuals, and if you
That's
don't
right.
see what you think of, what you thought was gonna get,
It's a
and
different
you
story,
that
brother.
yeah, that flash in the pan. We thought we had some gold, but we got that fool's gold. Straight
Cause
up
yeah,
fool's
and
gold.
NFL is definitely gonna let you know that you got fools go. Cause this is a career now. It's no
Yeah,
longer a sport. This is a job, and you're
this is a
playing against
job.
grown men.
Grown men at that.
Yeah,
Animals. You playing against animals.
20, 21, 22-year old coming in playing against 33 and 34-year-old players. Believe me.
No, they snatching folks around up in this game.
That's right. Oh, look, man,
Barbarians.
I done seen that before. Now that you can try that on the other side. We already seen that. But anyway, let's get into this video, man. I got a video that I want to show that what Emmitt had to say about this current team. So let's say, man, Emmitt's not playing. So let's listen what he had to say.
But it works.
No one wants
If
to
you
fight
do it,
hard
it
anymore.
works.
They want to, we are the
Tell
Cowboys.
me how good I yeah.
Tell
yeah.
me how
I
good
hear
I
you.
am.
Right.
Check out my Instagram posts.
Right.
See me on my podcast. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm everything
Right.
without doing anything.
Right. Yeah.
So, and everybody's patting them on the back without doing anything.
Right.
People want to give them so much without doing nothing.
Right.
Mhm.
And what they're living off of is what happened in the past.
Right.
Not
Okay.
what's going down right now. They're not establishing their
Mm.
own legacy, let
Mm.
alone building off of the legacy that was established. When I got to the Cowboys, I knew one thing.
Yeah.
I knew I could not disappoint Tony Dorsett as a running back.
Mhm.
And I knew I could not disappoint Robert Newhouse as a
Right.
running back, or Calvin Hill, or let alone Bullet Bob Hayes.
Right.
Then I knew I could not disappoint Captain Comeback, Roger Staubach,
Right.
Ed
Mhm.
Tutal Jones. I embraced the history of who we were because I loved them as a Cowboy when I was a kid myself. So when I got there, it's like, shoot, we ain't gonna be 1-15.
Right.
My mind was already on that, and I knew Michael Mine was on it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Mine had to be on
Yeah,
it.
so that's what I say too. Like the coach has got to be a part of that, right? Not putting up with
Amen.
nonsense. Is
Don't
that where
put
you're
up with no
going?
BS.
Right.
And at the end of the day, when you see a legendary defensive end like Charles Haley, who's a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
working with Leon Lett, Tony Tolbert, Tony Casillas, and and Chad Hennings,
Right.
Jimmy Jones, and other players.
Yeah.
Working with them, teaching them to swim things. He's working with them to make them better, so
Right.
he become better.
Ooh, we give it up for Emmitt Smith.
Iron sharpening iron.
But and listen what he said. He said when he came to the Cowboys, he did it in honor of those that was before him. He knew he couldn't let Tony Dorsett down. He knew he couldn't let Robert Newhouse down. He did his research. He did the research on the Cowboys.
Right.
What it means to be a part of the brand. What it means to be a Cowboy. And what he's saying is that the current players today, they don't do their research. It's all about them. What do you get out of that, man?
Man, I agree with Emmitt Smith wholeheartedly because when you think about the Dallas Cowboys and the inception of the Dallas Cowboys when they first came into the league, the first couple of years, the Cowboys, they wasn't too good. But after those first 2 years, the Cowboys went through those rough spots. Tom Landry had them boys rocking.
Come on now, give it up. That's right. That's so true. Nope. And we fail to recognize that it didn't take long before we got to the first Super Bowl when this organization started.
No, it didn't. It did
5 years, within 5 years, something like that.
Within 5 years, something like that. Yeah. I mean, Tom Landry is the embodiment of who the Cowboys are.
Come on, man.
When it comes to tradition, Tom Landry, he laid the groundwork. He paved the road. He made sure that people knew that he was lining up some hard-nosed, blue-collar football playing dudes week after week.
That's so true. That is so
week
true.
After week. And when you think about it, I don't care about what people may say about Jerry Jones and how the thing went down between him and Tom Landry. That wasn't on Jerry Jones. That was just part of the situation of the sale of the Cowboys.
That's the business. Yeah, right.
That's just the business. But what Jimmy Johnson did?
Came in with that same knowing where the history of the Cowboys.
Let's win, baby.
He picked up where Tom Landry stopped.
Okay.
He picked up.
Let's win, baby.
That's right.
And that's what it done. Tom Landry was a trailblazer for what the Cowboys embodied as an organization. Jimmy came in and picked up the pieces.
Yeah.
All right. And Jerry floundered the whole situation by going to getting these mid-tier, running the road coordinators, because that's all they were. Coordinators.
Yeah.
Every single one of these dudes are coordinators. Okay, I know coordinators need the opportunity to be able to showcase their coaching abilities at the highest level. Okay, cool. But at the end of the day, you just don't go get anybody.
You don't?
You don't just go get anybody.
Well, that's what he said. He said, well, Football Junkie, you forget what he said. He can get anybody to come coach this team. And 29 years later, we're still looking for a championship, brother. I'm just saying, it is what it is. We're 29 years later.
29 years later.
We're still looking for that right coach to come in and pick up the pieces like Jimmy Johnson did.
The savior.
So
we're looking for our savior.
Yeah. And that was just part of what Emmitt Smith had to say, man. But he is very much livid. He is so livid about what has taken place. He said he's tired of hearing about the possibilities of what the Cowboys could be. He said, I'm at the point of who they are. And I say this, I've been saying it since the last game against Green Bay. I said, you know what? Our critics have proven to me we are who they say we are. 29 years we're going on this. But, Emmitt has some very, very good points, because what he said, we did our history of the Cowboys. I could not let Tony Dorsett down. I could not let Robert Newhouse down. I could not let Bob Hayes down. He said this, and he said that the whole team felt the same way. So again, I'm hoping that this current team is listening what Emmitt is saying. But we have to do a 180, not a 360, but we have to make this team do a 180. Yeah, a bow face and go in a whole different direction to get over this hump, man. And then another thing he was saying that how he definitely felt he said the reason Mike McCarthy wasn't fired is because he wasn't the general manager.
Mm. All right, man. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Up until Dez Bryant, Cowboys really haven't had no cornerstone player on offense or defense. Let's just look at. I'm talking about Dez Bryant. We had a plethora of players that we have drafted that's supposed to be this, that, and the third, but nobody's lived up. I mean, we just plug and play. We just been
So what
plugging
about
and
CD?
playing.
Do you not think CD is that guy?
CD is a cornerstone player.
Mhm.
Michael Parsons is a cornerstone player. Diggs is a cornerstone player. Bland is a cornerstone player. Bland kind of reminds me of Gant in a
Yeah.
way.
He also reminded me a little bit of Kevin Smith.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ball hawk. Ball hawk.
ball hawk.
But
I
you
mean,
now football junkie, you called out everybody's name, but the main guy.
that ain't no cornerstone, brother.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And I
Who?
don't know what you're talking about.
So what so wait,
Prescott's
wait a
not
minute.
the guy,
No,
man.
no, I'm not talking about Brandon Cook.
Okay, I was thinking you're talking about Dak Prescott.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Look at
not the
your face.
guy. That's not the
Look
guy.
at your face, dude.
That's not the guy. That is not the guy. I mean,
Dude,
we
you
haven't.
you listen, you owe him $59.6 million, brother. Okay. Right now, Dak controls the Dallas Cowboys, okay? He controls he has a no franchise tag. He has a no trade clause. So you know what? Right now he's probably at Cabo, sitting around with a white a slingshot T-shirt on, cowboy hat with a cigarette hanging out his mouth with a Coors Light and some boots with some football socks on. He said, "I'll see y'all when I get back."
And his cheerleading brothers.
Dang. So this is the reason I'm thinking this is why we are where we are this one year, because they're going to have to restructure. Now, Cowboys corner came on here. He kind of elaborated on how they can restructure Dak, and what he was saying is based because the two ghost years. So what they can do,
Mm.
they can actually restructure his contract, and I believe he said that we could pay him 20 million, and we still have some left over to get players, but it won't have to be a long extension, something to that nature. But and if that's the case, that's why we're running it back. We're running it back. We're going to run out this season, but I guarantee you, next season you're going to see a big change. I really do. I really think there's going to be a big change. But because of Dak and where he is and how much he controls the organization right now, they have no choice but to run it back. What do you
So
think?
so Dak is the owner of the Cowboys for 1 year.
Basically,
Cowboys
basically.
got a Cowboys got a black
Well,
owner
that's
apparently.
that's your general manager though. That's your general manager. Waits
Tell
late.
you, man, that dude got so much money he don't even know how to think around it.
Yeah. I mean, you waited late to pay the guy, and now he has total control. You did the same thing with Zeke when you should have paid both of these guys early, but then the market went up, and guess what? They demanded money, and then guess what we did with Zeke? Hey Zeke, why don't you go test the market? We can't really afford you, and sure enough, what we do? Somebody
Mm.
picked him up. So it's
Yep.
your general manager, and we
Do
know
you
who
honestly
that
think
is, and
somebody
that's
could
why.
pick up?
Say
Go
that
ahead.
again.
Do you honestly think somebody could pick up Dak Prescott?
Yeah. Well, and that's a good question because, dude, that's a lot of money. And it's a possibility that we might see a fourth round draft pick with one of the biggest pay raises in quarterback history. It's possible.
Only player gonna top that is Purdy.
Yeah, it's possible. But anyway, and here we are. We get to sit back. And like I said once before, I don't ever, 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 ever Want anybody to come telling me that it takes time to develop a quarterback before they make it to the Super Bowl? We're looking at Mr. Irrelevant, the last man standing in the draft, not the last man in the of the fourth round, fifth round. We're talking about in the seventh round, Mr. Irrelevant, 200 and what 56, 7, somewhere off in there. And here he is going to the Super Bowl. So don't ever tell me anything about that you have to develop your quarterback and it's going to take 10 years before. No, we're witnessing right now. We got Mr. Irrelevant going up against one of the greatest quarterbacks out there right now. So I don't want to hear that anymore.
Year one midseason starter.
Woo! What you say?
Year one midseason starter.
Wow.
And
And
think
here he
about it.
is.
Just think about all these quarterbacks that's been going to the Super Bowl last 10 years, basically since Dak Prescott been quarterback for the Cowboys. And a lot of them are quarterbacks that really entered into the season after Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, football junkie, that's where we are, brother. I didn't mean to take up this much time from you, but man, you know how you and I get, man. We could talk about our Cowboys, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. And like I say, we just have to sit back and wait. And people are saying we need to hurry up and we need to start making moves. And some people are saying we need to just kind of chill and wait and see what happens. How are you feeling at this point right now? Should we be speeding up the process, or should we just kind of just sit back and wait and let it happen?
We need to be like Star Trek and hit some warp speed.
That man say we need to warp.
Yeah, we need some warp speed, man.
Oh man, yeah, you probably right about that, brother. So yeah, all we can do, man, is like I say, everything is pretty much going to be breaking news right now as we get ready for Sunday's game. So who are you pulling for on Sunday?
Man, it's two boys on both teams from East Texas, man.
Yeah,
I'm just
well, we
gonna
got two.
enjoy.
Yeah, we got two former Cowboy players playing as well. Boss Man
Ooh,
Fat and Randy Gregory. So
you
you mean to
so
tell me
right.
you have to leave the Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl?
DeMarcus Ware did.
Yep. So that's the ticket. You come play with the Cowboys. You leave the
It's a
Cowboys.
shame.
Guess what? You got a ticket to the Super Bowl. Give it
They
up.
fo- they form leading over at the Cowboys, man.
That's the dude. Stop it, bro. Stop it. That's banana. That's crazy. But that's what it's looking like. 28
Yeah,
years,
form
29
leading.
years. Sheesh. Man, that's something. Well, hey, man, listen here, football junkie. I want to thank you, man, for coming through and hanging out with me, man, today, man. It's definitely been a pleasure. And,
Alright.
we going to definitely do this again. And we going to definitely keep coming with the breaking news and the rumors and updates. So let's stay tuned. But, man, again, thank you. And everybody out there, want to say thank y'all as well, man, for being a part of this channel. And just before you make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you will be notified when the next video is put up. So with that being said, like I always say, don't nothing come to us but a dream. So let's make it happen. Dallas Cowboys.
All
Deuces.
right.
Let's get out of here.